So, Richie, second leg of the playoffs. Is this the biggest game in our recent history, and how are you relishing that?
Absolutely the biggest game in the recent history, probably since the last time the club was in the playoffs final under Russell Slade. So been a brilliant journey for the football club, especially since Nige and Kent took over. So yeah, huge game. It's a game that will define some of the players' career at this football club. It'll define our season. Sometimes football's horrible, isn't it? The fact that we've played 50, I think it's 58 games this year, something like that. Yeah, our season will come down to one game and ultimately define myself on this season and define the players as well. But it's also exciting.
Coursal Square going into the second leg now. It's practically a fresh start, a one-off game, and anything can happen, can't it?
Absolutely. I mean, our away record is good. We've had some big away wins at some big clubs this year, so we've got nothing to be afraid of. I watched a lot of the playoff games, and not many teams have won at home. Sheffield United won at home last night as well, but they had a comfortable advantage from the first leg. So with playing at home, especially in the second leg, it becomes different pressures. So we need to capitalise on that. We need to manage the game when we need to, but I think a bit more, the pressure's on us as well, don't get me wrong, but I think a bit more of the pressure will be on Stockport, as they're more expected to be as well.
As you say then, we've won 4 on the road, we've scored more goals away from home than we have at home this season, and looking at how that first leg played out, do you think we can be in the away team? Do you think we can use that to our advantage in this second?
Well, we have to. Not to forget that the last 2 times we've played there, we've won. So we won in the League 2 season, and then when Stockport come up last year, we've beat them at their place this year. So again, there's nothing to be afraid of. Tactically we weren't great on Saturday. I thought the last 25 half an hour was really, really good. At the start of the game, tactically we weren't great, but also they stopped us from doing certain things and they caused us a few problems. We're a good team. They've been it's a stable, consistent club. They've had a stable, consistent squad for quite a few years now, and a good manager as well. So we'll be going up there. Listen, we're going to win the game. We're going to try and win the game, but we realise it is a difficult opponent.
And talking about tactically, then we played in a couple of different shapes on the day, switched things up in the second half. Saw Tom James and Jack Curry come back from injury. I'm not going to ask you to reveal your starting tactics, but what's your thoughts then, following how the first leg ended?
No, we went to that system probably 4 or 5 weeks ago, and when we're out of possession, we press as a front 2. But then when we win the ball, Dan Aggie goes as a right winger, and Ethan Galbraith comes and plays inside as a midfield player, and it's worked really, really well for us. But it was forced upon us. We had to get our heads together to think of something different with the person. We've got no fit fullbacks apart from Ethan Galbraith. And if Tom James and Jack Curry was fit, then Galbraith becomes an option to play in midfield or as a 10. He gives us so many options, Ethan. But on Saturday, Jack Curry didn't train on the Friday. He went for a scan along with Oxford, and we had to have permission off Oxford to have him on the bench. He's not trained since. So we'll assess him this morning. Again, I keep saying it week in, week out, he's 50-50. And so far he's 50-50. It's gone the wrong way for us. And Tom James has been out injured a long time. He's only had 2 or 3 training sessions. I thought he was excellent when he come on. It gives you that composure. But again, to throw him in a game like this with so much his limitations on his training sessions is going to be tough. So we'll make a call. Whether we stay with a 3 or whether we go back to a back 4 will ultimately be decided by the medical staff and what they tell me.
Just looking back to the first leg again, then there was a lot of talk about decisions, refereeing performances, and it's obviously a new game, new referee. Do you have to forget what happened in that first leg?
Well, we forgot it. It'll be a new referee who has no hangover of them decisions. So we expect the Referees Association to be professional and not let that cloud their judgment. By the way, we had a huge decision go against us at 1-1. So, Kelman's penalty, it takes us to 2-1. I think we finished the game really, really strong. Don't get me wrong, listen, Kelman's goal is horrific. It's so far offside, it's untrue, and I can understand their anger at it. But the referee made he let a lot go. He made a lot of wrong decisions, just easy decisions, but the big ones are the ones that you want him to get right. And I think he got two wrong. Luckily, it was one for them, one for us. So we hope the referee on Wednesday can perform to a consistent level. And I think it was a shame after the game that all the talk was about the referee. It's actually the linesman, the job it was. So I hope on Wednesday we're not talking about the officials, because on Saturday we should have been talking about two good teams that went at it. That you look at Oliver, I think it's been the best playoff game so far. Two teams that want to go and score goals and be aggressive. And hopefully on Wednesday we can be talking about the football rather than the officials.
And just a word on the squad then. How are the likes of Jordan Brown and Darren Prattley looking ahead of the second?
Again, Brownie's not trained since. We'll hopefully get him out this morning and see how he recovers. I think he'll be able to get through training. It just depends how he feels after training. And then we'll travel up today and see how he is.
And then finally, 90 minutes, maybe a little bit more if it has to go to extra time, but Wembley's in touching distance. Are you thinking about that yet, or is it all focused on the game in hand?
No, absolutely not. You think about I'm only thinking about today's training session, making sure it goes well, making sure that the visual plan that I have in my head I can get across to the players and they understand the way that we want to play, and then take that into Wednesday night. I think once you start thinking too far ahead, it's very, very dangerous. And football, I've been in it a long time enough. If you start to think like that, it comes and bites you at the backside. So our supporters, one last rallying cry. Let's go again. It's been a long season. Like I said, 58, 59 games we've played, and the supporters this year have been absolutely terrific. And let's give it one more go to hopefully get to what was want to be one of the biggest games of this club's history.